This is the Matrix Awakens. We're here on PlayStation 5 Pro. Be sure to like the video. Subscribing is great as well. So this was a captivating Unreal Engine 5 demo that released a little bit earlier on in the generation, and I thought, hey, we should take a look at this masterpiece of a visual presentation on the PlayStation 5 Pro and see just what this game, or well, more of a tech demo, has to offer. So you got to keep in mind that this really was just to showcase UE5 running on the consoles and just kind of where the technology in gaming was headed. In the past, these demos, you would just see like a video clip of them, you wouldn't actually get to experience them. But because they decided to be all fancy and everything like that, we got to see literal scans of these performers, and we got to see literal scans of the technology and just kind of a showcase of what exactly gaming could look like in the future using the magic of Unreal Engine 5, which is really exciting here. So these cinematics are capped at 24 FPS, and that's a styling choice aesthetically. And then from there on, it's kind of a little bit different for resolution. When you get into the main world, it's like 1600p, kind of like temporarily scaled to 4K, and a 30 FPS target is present here. So that's kind of what they're going for, you know, gameplay-wise, quote-unquote, just trying to wow you with the visual aesthetics of the game and give you an idea of what it has to offer, which is kind of exciting. And then, of course, on top of that, we've got the Lumen based ray tracing, and then the sense of scope in regards to the large open city, how you can play around with things, the cinematic elements with the random physics to it, where every single scene is different, and every little sequence is unique, which is kind of exciting. And yeah, they're just kind of talking around and showcasing what exactly can be done, and it's just supposed to blow your mind, and you know, you can really feel the metahuman magic come alive. And I wonder what the actors actually think of this, seeing this kind of thing in motion, because it really does hit like a sort of real, but then also to a degree like uncanny kind of look too. But yeah, this was really quite I would say surreal when this first came out, and it's neat to take a look at this on the PS5 Pro and see what it has to offer. I do hope that maybe, like, I guess this demo is gone. Like, it was a limited time thing. It was only available for a short span. You got it or you didn't get it. I do ponder if they will maybe play around with this in regards to, like, uncapping things down the road or something like that, just so we can kind of enjoy it. But I doubt it. I think the demo will just exist as is going forward, just as kind of a fun little, you grabbed it at the time, now you get to showcase it off going forward and have some fun with it and see what it has to offer. But yes, it is just a tech demo, so it's not like you're really, you know, missing out on necessarily anything crazy. It's not like this is some wild, full-blown Matrix game like we got back in the 2000s era, but it's still a pretty cool experience to dive into and showcase.
Word of advice, agents are bad, but whatever you do, stay the hell away from marketing. See you soon.
So there's something about like the bodies and stuff, very, the face is scanned, and then the body's just like a little odd, very off. It's like uncanny, I guess is the thing too. Also interesting looking at this from the perspective of like, we've seen games come from this point on that use UE5, and this one still is pretty tech bounding. Because like, look at this, like this is actually, you know, gameplay, and then the physics are what I was kind of mentioning, where this is, you know, completely dynamic, and every single time you play this, the way the vehicles and stuff like that kind of break down in that should be entirely different. Isn't this amazing? It still doesn't look like the cars are fully grounded in the world, but this absolutely looks fantastic. I'm still floored by this demo. Like, it's really the idea of what video games can be. I think it's something about the cars, where it's like the matting or something of them's a bit odd.
They're on the car. Where's the roof?
They're all over. Bye-bye.
Boys,
So cool though, right? Makes you kind of want to have a Matrix game. Did that last film, like, vaporized or scorched this franchise.
Hang on.
I think we're gonna get a larger toy in a second here. Feels really good with the PlayStation controller too. I had just experienced this with Xbox prior, and you know, just kind of made sure I downloaded this to make sure I had like owned it, quote unquote. So this is kind of like surreal levels of like particle effects, explosions, physics, design, realism. Really is what is going towards realism. We could use the fun toy now. This is what I talk about. Ah, yeah. Just look at that destruction. The way those cars break apart. We still don't have video games that look like this, or run like this, or look this good. Not the console. I kind of hope this becomes a thing going forward, though, where they give us tech demos like this on console just to kind of show off a little bit. Assuming there's future gens, right?
What are you doing? Time to blow this box down.
Breathtaking. Unreal Engine 5. Oh. And then we get to go into the freedom of the open world. Mass AI, crowded traffic system. Isn't that amazing? Like, I love things like this in video games. Dynamic global illumination reflections with lumen. The goal of realistic lighting. They're really just kind of showing off, aren't they? I love that they did this. Look at all them triangles. Look at it in all its glory. Temporal super resolution. That is incredible density for that archway. Oh yeah, it's got the MetaHumans too. So again, just as a reminder, as we move to the open world, it's like... it's supposed to be like a dynamic 1600p going up to 4K. So we should get a little bit more of a full resolution scaling effect here because the PS5 Pro is, you know, a little bit more powerful. And we should be cleaning up that frame rate target a little bit better with this one. And then you can fly. It's still kind of amazing. Like, it's just breathtaking, honestly. This is such a stunning, like, tech demo. It really is genuinely impressive. We'll drive about in a sec here, but kind of want you to take in like the human technology, but I mean character models. We've definitely seen character models like this at this point in the generation, so it's not too crazy from that perspective. That we can't see the controls here, so they give us like, you know, some different options, walking, movement, everything like that, driving, photo mode. You can do the world settings. You can change where the sun is. I love how they do this in a very Matrix-y like way. It actually is a perfect tie-in to do, you know, the Matrix with the game, stuff like that. And then the crowd density, traffic, parked cars, around traffic, Matrix filter on or off, Nani view, primitives, instances, clusters, triangles, material ID. This is what all your video games look like behind the scenes. We're going to keep the Matrix filter off for a little bit, just so you can see how it's supposed to look as like a natural kind of city. And then we have the camera exposure for photo mode, and then yeah, Mega City running, and yeah, that's kind of our options. And then you get this like open world kind of map thing. Yeah, so let's dive in and let's take this world in, and it's MetaHumans. Probably do a little bit of driving, but this really does just look amazing. How do I steal Mr. Car? How do I take your car? Driving, brake, exit vehicle. Oh, okay. Those are only specific vehicles I can enter. Stop your vehicle. I don't want the drone, I want to take a car. Oh, I guess it's literally like specific vehicles I can't. You know what it is? It's probably because you can't hijack a vehicle, right? That's the thing, is it doesn't have the hijacking. Yeah, because this is a friendly demo of the Matrix. Wow, look at the destruction on the car too. I totally forgot about this, where it's got like real dynamic, like just absolute destruction for vehicles. Isn't that just amazing? Like, you could drive in here and you could just like literally see the damage of the cars in that way. Like true actual like vehicle destruction. Just walking away from the scene of the crime. Don't, nothing to see here, nothing to do here. It really is quite spectacular, though. From what I recall, it was like buckling when you actually get like some speed going. So we'll try to actually get some like driving going on from that testing perspective. But you can still tell that like performance-wise, it's not perfectly handling things, but it's really, really good looking, really clear. It's handling the scale well. You know, the sense of distance. You can definitely see the kind of temporal effects and upscaling and everything going on here. Oh! It is amazing the detail that they can achieve if they want to. if that makes sense, like, clearly we could get stuff like this, but then again, how are you going to do this and make it so that the game actually plays as a video game? This is so breathtaking. And also, they did not at all skimp on this character's rear end. I'm just going to throw that out there. Like, you really do kind of feel like you're in an actual city. It's genuinely amazing. It's a shame that this isn't going to be available for future generations. It would be interesting if they do, like, obviously this one's going to still be available in the future, but it would be cool if they did, like, remake this every time they did a tech demo and they kind of showed comparison to the previous iterations and just how much it's like actually come and gone. Like, I don't know if you're as blown away as I am by playing this, but yeah, it's been literally, I think, a few years since I checked this out, and I am once again stunned by the fact that this is like probably the truest realistic capturing of like a city in a video game ever. I guess when you think of other simulations too, like the Spider-Man games, those are pretty amazing in terms of actually capturing the style and the look of a city. But yeah, this is truly quite something. Like, just really genuinely mind-blowing. The level of detail in this place. This is actually something I should revisit every couple of years and just be floored by. Look at the traffic. Like, it looks like you're seeing a real place. It would be so cool if you could do this, but in like a city builder get to this level of clarity, or oh, even flight sim and stuff like that would be amazing too. That's the thing that just blows my mind, is like if you're to kind of look at this from the perspective of like just flying around it, and you didn't know how the structuring of actual cities and stuff looks, you could probably fool someone into thinking this is a real place. Like, it really does just look that absolutely stunning. Can we, like, walk on top of a roof? No, we're not allowed. It's a little disappointing, isn't it? But I guess they couldn't model every aspect of the experience. It really is. It's more of an empty backdrop demo for you to explore and for you to take in, as opposed to like something functional. Again, it is, as I mentioned, it is a tech demo, right? Like, it's not meant to be something that you actually kind of experience. Oh, that guy's got some hair problems going on. Oh, looks like they're not loading in properly, these character models. Shame that they didn't almost like consider this with the PS5 Pro in mind. I'm so floored by this, because like I can't help but sit here and like pick out the things that sort of, you know, don't look real to me, aren't real to me. But I should also try to remember that I should just sit back and kind of let the experience sort of capture me, if that makes sense. Like, I look for things where I'm like, oh, I know why this isn't real because of this and this and that, but I should almost be more appreciative of the things that they can nail. Like, the density of people, too, is amazing. Like, I guess it is running a little smoother PS5 Pro wise, but it's not like this one really allows us to see more of what the PS5 Pro can do. It's just a little bit of overhead so that it runs smoother. And keeps that like resolution scaling to be a little less aggressive. Oh, even the dock's cut off from us. That's not fun. It would be funny to do some videos where it's like walking through a city videos and just be like, see if anyone actually picks up that this is like the Matrix demo, just like flying through the city. Because I think if you look at it from a glance like this, I don't know if your regular person would really kind of notice. Like, I think you could really fool people with this. Like, obviously that's not how the backdrop of places look, but there's actually like depth of scale there. Like, I'm pretty sure those are still, I don't know if those are actually like 3D rendered areas or not. Can we actually go over there? Can we go into the water? No, okay. No, it caps off, because I'm like, I guess they are kind of 3D to a degree, because usually video games, the far backdrop, they'll kind of trick you by layering things, but usually it's just 2D, but it does look at least like some of those buildings are you know, 2 or 3D does to say, which is amazing. It took me all the way back here. City and the technology used to create it. I think what's also interesting is just like the garbage, the subtle like dirt on the street and stuff like that. Like that's an unreal level of realism and design. And it's just like this full city for you to explore. Obviously, like those are totally fake looking interiors, but I think we should also appreciate the fact that like mostly interiors in big open world games like that are flat. And the fact that they're actually able to create a sense of scale, especially for something where you're sort of driving by or flying by, and most people would notice, you can appreciate that as well. Once again, stunning. Like seriously, I don't know if this really truly revolutionizes, you know, this demo being on the PS5 Pro, but this is certainly a game I need to remember to come back to visit in future generations if I can, so when we do like PS6, you know, hold me to it to come back on this one. This is what I was saying, it's like performance kind of hiccups a little bit when you're like hitting other cars and stuff. Might also be a bit of a visual technique, a little bit of a slowdown when you're about to hit something. And yeah, it's supposed to be, the physics of this is supposed to be incredibly dynamic. That's something I haven't really seen a whole lot of in like full UE5 game releases, is these destruction type elements. Like you see the dynamics of like water in that, in UE5 games, how it's very natural and flowing and realistic, but you don't really see the damage like you do in this. It's so amazing looking. Too bad you can't do like dynamic shootouts to see. That's the funny thing, is you got this like bare bones city thing, and all you could really think about wanting to do is like destroying stuff, or you know, like doing things within the city, because that's what video games really are meant for, is to actually do things in a world, right? But this I'm just floored by. Like, look at how destroyed that car is. It's amazing. Also the way like everything reflects, like look at the detail and the damage of that car. The way the glass breaks. They should genuinely like redo this for like the PS6 down the road. Like PlayStation 6 should have like a remade version of this, and we could do comparisons and be like, holy, look how different this is. Really, really cool. I also don't get the point in like removing density of crowd, but I guess it's to showcase to maybe developers that like, you know, you can remove this kind of stuff if you want. And then we can make the city like empty for us to drive their destroyed vehicle. Which makes it feel a lot more lifeless. It actually kind of makes you feel like if there's UE5 open world games that have cities, like they've just basically, they could have a lot more cars, and they've just basically shrunk it. Which in itself is kind of a hilarious concept. That is a lot easier for driving when you're able to kind of go across the city without all these cars getting in the way, right? I do wonder what the frame rate might be like if they just like straight up left it uncapped. Wouldn't that be just like literally amazing? I'm sorry, I just like completely get lost in this a little bit. The way the light bounces in, the clouds, everything like that. It really does look so real. Use this as a template for like a superhero game. Because I believe most of these assets are supposed to be just available to, you know, the engine and everything like that. Take this world template, slap the Hulk in it, add some building destruction. You're good to go. I mean, there's a lot more to it than that, but it is interesting too because I have seen so many different examples of different types of games using UE5, and like some will. North side to the south side. I don't know. You tell me. And it's like some of the designs. It seems like they just kind of like quickly slap together a UE5 experience and use a lot of like preset things in there, and then you can see some more that they do a little bit more crafting type stuff. I think this demo is also interesting because it's a demo that doesn't use like the UE5 kind of template things, because like UE5 games, they have like a look to them, almost all of them, but usually a lot of that is driven by like rock geometry and everything like that. And with this being like a full, just like metropolis, a full city, it's like you don't really see that as much. I was really glad that I was like, oh, I should take a look at this and show it off, because I'm like, this is a great reminder of where gaming could eventually go. Maybe I should go up on an overpass or something. I kind of want a better car, though. That car. I want this car, but I want to go up on the overpass. It would be cool if they gave you more advanced, like, spawning and setup techniques. Oh, and then that car just exploded. Huh. Kinda cool. Third park cars off. Let's adjust the sun rotation. Yeah, I think that's about it. Such a genuinely fascinating game. Seriously, like, well, I keep calling it a game, but it is just a tech demo. But no, I really am floored by this and what this allows you to do. It's kind of worth like a bit of a revisit for your PS5 Pro if you've you know, grabbed it before. I mean, obviously you can't get it now, so you can only enjoy it through the video, but just the idea of what they were going for with this, I think they kind of nailed the feeling and the vibe and the concept of it. And as I said, you can have tons of cars here. I've just kind of left it empty so you can actually kind of go fast, not smash into cars. See, that's a lot of the time in video games. If you're wondering why traffic is always so dead, it's because you wouldn't be able to really get anywhere fast in a car if you kept having to bump into things. But also performance reasons too. This one actually, it handles render distance pretty greatly as well, even for like fast speeds. I guess it does hide it to a degree with lighting and that, but yeah, this is kind of amazing, right? And I know the UE5 games we've gotten haven't been like fully necessarily delivering like this one did in terms of being like, you know, this was a demo and those were actual games, but I still think the potential of UE5 is almost not fully realized. The hilarious part of it is, you know, I know UE5 is a bit of a long-term thing, and I know they've done big engine upgrades over time. Actually, they're like a lot longer of a iteration number than they were for this one. But like, I do ponder by the time we get to that next gen of consoles if they've even got, you know, moving to like UE6 at some point and seeing how that looks. And I feel like the engine here is mostly kind of held back by hardware, not being where it needs to be to really realize these sort of visions and dreams, which I think is utterly fascinating, honestly. But this is a really, really cool thing. And I hope I kind of showcased what it's looking like and running on the PS5 Pro and giving you an idea of... Oh, it's still going! Wow. Matrix view on. Okay, let's pump it up a little bit more with traffic and stuff, you know what I'm saying? I think actually turning off the Matrix filter does add a lot to the visual aesthetic, but I am glad that it does have a Matrix filter too, because, you know, you gotta capture that style too, right? What was that slowdown about? I must have hit like a bump or something. So there you go, the Matrix Awakens, and I'm sure I'll be back taking a look at this demo on the PS6 whenever that comes out someday down the road, as I think this is a demo for the long term, as long as it's supported too, backwards compatibility wise when that happens, right? Cool thing.